Yeah. Okay. This is not a long session, but I would like to use it to address the elephant in the room. It's not a new elephant. In fact, it's been in the room for 25 years now. And really, the truth is closer to 70 years. No matter what side of the political aisle we find ourselves on, we are all aware that in an Aleph and Nun Beis, the Rebbe definitively shifted the focus of our shlichus. It became all about Mashiach. Let's not kid ourselves. It wasn't that the Rebbe was asking us to step up how much we talk about Mashiach, a little bit more aspirations and the words and the message. The Rebbe clearly says that our entire shlichus became to prepare the world to welcome Mashiach. Now, the fact that even as I say these words, most likely there's a little bit of a sense of unease or discomfort settling among those listening, that itself is exactly the problem. It's because it's due to this unease that for the most part we've danced around the issue. Yes, we mention Mashiach far more regularly than any other rabbis or groups, but we know that it's a far cry from what the intention of the Rebbe was. We've embraced the other initiatives of the Rebbe, the other miftzayim, etc., with a commitment and a focus, so much so that if we encounter a Yid and they walk away from us and they did not put on tefillin, then we feel a tangible sense of guilt, like a tug that something has been left undone. Do we feel the same way in regards to engaging that person on the concept of Mashiach? I think for the most part, we know the answer to that question. What we tell ourselves in our defense is that this person or our community or the world is not really ready for this kind of a discussion on this topic. Sure, they're ready to hear that the aspiration and the hope and our perspective is that the world is heading towards Mashiach. Now, if we are honest with ourselves, we know this is not what the Rebbe wants. The Rebbe wants Mashiach to be here and now, an aspect of daily focus, as immediate as Tefillin and Shabbos and Kashrus and Lag BaOmer. What we tell ourselves is that Mashiach is a different thing, and that the world's not holding there. To this I ask, really? Are you sure that that's true? Let's think back when the Rebbe began all the various initiatives, from shlichus in general to tefillin on the streets to public menorah lightings, etc. The whole world looked at us and said, "This is nuts." Even disrespectful. Yiddishkeit is meant to be celebrated and practiced in private in the homes, etc. We Hasidim, the Rebbe soldiers, disregarded all those doubts and we marched forward. But even for us, it was outside our comfort zone. Back then, it was not easy for a young former yeshiva bacher and his wife to pick themselves up and move out to the boondocks or to a college campus or to the middle of a metropolis, to stop a well-dressed business person in the street and ask them to roll up their sleeves to put on leather straps and boxes. It took the pioneers among the Hasidim with a Kabbal's oil and an Amunah in the vision of the Rebbe to go out and act on the Mishaleach Heirois. However, all these decades later, as Chabad now enjoys a position on the cutting edge of Jewish engagement, with all other official and established institutions playing catch-up and trying to copy Chabad, we should realize a certain truth. The Rebbe was always right about the world being completely ready for all these initiatives. And the rest of us were late in realizing it. And the reason that the Rebbe was right is not because of the Rebbe's incredible foresight or a brilliant vision. It's because the Rebbe is the Nasi Hadoir. Of course he knows what is needed in any given moment. It's his job to know the neshamas of Tzayin Marisai and to provide for them whatever they need. it shouldn't take emunah on our parts to go out and bring to fruition the Rebbe's directives, even if it is beyond our comfort zone. The Rebbe knows exactly what is needed, and we need to get out of our own way and to lead in the way that the Rebbe empowers us to do so. So over 25 years ago, the Rebbe told us in no uncertain terms that the world and the neshamas in it are ready to be mikabel pnei Mashiach tzidkein. That was 25 years ago. For over 25 years, the world has been waiting for us to lead. And we're unsure about it. We're avoiding it. Look around at what the topics of conversation are all around the world, even prior to this whole coronavirus. We have an entire generation of millennials that reject that life is just about making a living and ensuring a comfortable 401k and retirement. Rather, what is their conversation? What is their bread? It's all about social justice and changing the world. Every recycled bottle is making our planet a better place. The world is excruciatingly aware that there is something greater, something more cosmic, cataclysmic, something, a global purpose. They can sense that at kunt Mashiach, and they are craving for direction and clarity. They need leaders. The Rebbe knew this. The Rebbe begged us to follow his lead as always and direct the world toward their purpose. This is what it means to be the Rebbe's Mishaleh, the Rebbe's Shluch. The Rebbe, as the Nasi Hadar, knows exactly what the world is ready for and what it needs. But the Nasi Hadar needs his Sari Alafim and Sari Meyes to go out there and lead the people. We need to change our perspective on this final and most important shlichus. As the Rebbe says in a Sikha about the Meraglim, the question isn't whether we can carry this message out or not. The message needs to be carried out. The message will be carried out, and the world will accept it. The only question is what is the best way to do it? How best to use the creativity that we have, the vast array of tools that we have at our disposal, to bring this message to all the Yidden in the world. Whether it is in a class, a JLI class, whether it is in Shabbatons, whether it is in everything that we have, that the Chabad has, the incredible array of tools, cutting edge opportunities, etc. What we need to do is say Mashiach needs to get out there to the masses. We have to have the world be Mekabel Pnei Mashiach Tzidkeinu. The world is ready for it. We need to be ready for it. We need to figure out the best, clearest, whatever lashon, but the message must get out. That is our duty and our responsibility. The world right now traces sich with the coronavirus. Everybody is in, the whole world's in an upheaval. Everything that was normal is now not normal, and everything that is not normal is now accepted, received, and welcomed. Yesterday, I was in the middle of giving a Zoom share. Somebody showed up who just happened to come in on a whim. Somebody I don't know, Balabas, in the general area, but not one that I know. Not religious, not involved in Chabad at all. He enjoyed the class. He finishes. He gets off. The class was on topic was not focused on Mashiach. And as he finished off, he says, "Rabbi, I really enjoyed. Thank you so much for having these classes." And these are the words he said as he gets off the call or out of the Zoom session. He says, "Man, He says, if the world is not ready for Mashiach, I don't know what it is. The Welt weist schon. And they're expecting us to help them be Makabel Pnei Mashiach. The coronavirus means the crown virus. Let's help the world accept the crown of Mashiach Tzidkenu. Now, I was asked to connect these words with the fact, the announcement that there's a bureau is going to be reestablished. It's Merkez 302, and anybody, all shluchim, should feel it as their responsibility to contribute to this effort. Clearinghouse of ideas that will be compiled and shared out there. A VAD has been established, and everybody, every shliach is asked to contribute to this most important initiative, really, of our day. And that is to get the world ready to be Mekabel Pnei Mashiach. So you can send it to MC@Merkez Suite 02. MC Mashiach campaign at Merkez 302, and be part of this discussion and be part of this renewed effort to see the Rebbe's greatest call for our times brought to fruition. In the mitzvah of Hashem, we should be zeiche, even today, that just with the Achlatis Teves, that the effort should yield the results, and we should right now march to the Gula Shlema with Nasi Dereinu B'Reishenu, Gula Mitzvah Hashem, take it from Yad Mamash.